Are you ready?
Hey guys, this is Jesse. Here's a tutorial to start us out with object-oriented programming if you've never done it. The reason to learn it is because it's awesome, and that's a good enough reason, I think. And so object-oriented, the hardest part is starting out. That's going to be the very hardest thing to do because you're used to procedural code. Um, in procedural code, it usually reads top to bottom, and once in a while sometimes you have a nested function inside. um, Object-oriented code, you usually have a bunch of you have a hierarchy, and things extend each other, and you know it's kind of complicated to explain right off the bat. Won't get too scary on you though. So if you've ever looked at object-oriented programming, you've probably done the class animal. I'll just do this right here real quick with you, and then you do the brackets. And to create a method inside of a class, you just type function name, just like a regular PHP function, and let's just say echo 1. And this would be a class, and to use this as an object, we just say new animal. Now you should always put these little brackets after the word the class, because you'll find out later for constructs. And you want to assign this a variable, so just say animal equals new animal. Now this looks a lot different than regular coding, but I think if we just jump right in, it'll be best. And then to use a function within the animal object, so we have access to the animal by this variable. So we say animal, and we do a little arrow there. It's dash greater than sign, and you just type in the name of the function. I'll note that these are also called methods. Well, that's what they are called, functions that are inside a class, but I usually get them confused with just remembering the name right, so don't worry about that. If you've messed with Python or Java or JavaScript, the way they usually do this is with a dot method, but that's not how PHP does it. Um, Now if you don't include these brackets, it'll be a variable. So let me refresh this, see we get 1. Now what if we do animal name, undefined property? Okay, since this doesn't have these little parentheses, it's not a method, and this assumes it's a property. And a property is, in PHP 4 you would type var name. In PHP 5 you usually just don't type anything or type public. Um, Public, I'll explain scope and everything eventually. But so we have name, we refresh, the property is defined but it's not anything. Um, so that's a general overview. There's really a lot to this, and you're probably going to get really frustrated over time, but that's really how you're going to learn, and you'll be very glad that you did. It's really worth your time, and once you learn OOP, this also, you can use a lot of the same concepts in Java and Python. I think JavaScript too, and it's really worth your while. It'll expand your boundaries with all programming you do from here on out. And since PHP is not a very strict language, I think it's good to learn on here.